Hi there, this is Kim Lucard, your peak performance dietitian, and today I'm going to be going over how to read a food label in my Label Reading 101 training. For the purposes of today's training, I'm only going to be focusing on fat. So go ahead and grab your favorite food that you want to take a peek at. For the purposes of this training, I am using Ritz crackers. I love them. They're in our house. And they are a featured food item during the holiday season. There's Ritz Crackers pies that people like to make, and then people love to have them at their hors d'oeuvre table. So I figured this would be a fun food to look at, and you can see how you can make it fit without going overboard during this holiday season. So the first thing we're going to look at is the food label. You want to make sure it's readable, and I'm going to point out a few things. At the very top of the food label, you'll see the serving size. This is very, very important. So you'll note here that 5 Ritz crackers makes up a serving size. So as you go down the food label, when you eat 5 Ritz crackers, you are consuming 80 calories. 35 of those calories are coming from fat. Now, this portion of the food label will show you what your percentage of your daily value is. And what that means is when you eat 5 Ritz crackers, you are consuming 6% of the amount of fat that you need for the day, 5% of the amount of saturated fat you need for the day, 1% of the amount of 1% of the amount of sodium you need for the day, 2% of the amount of potassium, 3% of the amount of carbohydrate. Below this big dark line here, you see vitamins A and C and the minerals calcium and iron. These are always going to be found on your food label, so you want to check out for that. You'll notice that there's no vitamin A or vitamin C in these Ritz crackers, but you do get a little bit of calcium and some iron. So you'll always find these on your food labels. Now, the next thing I want you to look at is your ingredient list. And this is going to be very important for you determining if you want to buy the Ritz crackers or if you want to get a different product. So look at, even before you look at all the numbers above on the food label, go ahead and look at the first 3 ingredients of the product that you're going to be buying, whether it's a cereal, a bread, a frozen food. The first 3 ingredients of the product are the most plentiful. So here in these crackers, unbleached enriched flour is ingredient number 1, vegetable oil is ingredient number 2, and sugar is ingredient number 3, which means that these Ritz crackers are made primarily of these 3 ingredients. Now, if you're like me, you see very quickly, why you might be tempted to eat more than 5. So if you like Ritz crackers, take out 5, put them in a nice little bowl somewhere, or a nice pretty small plate, and put the box away, maybe where you can't see it, so that you're not tempted to go back for more. Now, as you saw on the last slide, 6% under the daily value is the daily value. A lot of times when I teach this class for the first time, people automatically think, oh, yay, I eat a serving of Ritz crackers, which is 5 crackers, and I'm only getting 6% fat. Well, what you need to do is do a quick math calculation. So what that is you take your total calories per serving from fat, and you divide the calories from fat per serving by your calories per serving times 100. And on the next slide, I'll show you what that looks like. So it's 35 calories from fat, which you saw on the top line, and then 80 calories per serving. You do your math equation, and so when you eat 5 Ritz crackers, you're eating about 44% of those calories going into your body, or calories coming from fat. Now remember, your serving size is 5, and I know these are good, and they are very easy to eat, but the calories and the fat grams will add up. So if you want to add these to your meal plan throughout the holiday season, keep in mind that it's the 5 Ritz crackers, and try to portion it so that you don't leave a sleeve out on the countertop, so that you're going back and picking up a Ritz cracker every single time you see the sleeve. Now, when we look at those 5 crackers in a little bit more detail, in those 5 crackers, you are consuming 80 calories. So you can think about how quickly you eat those crackers, 4 grams of fat, and 10 grams of carbohydrates. So that's kind of like eating 3/4 of a slice of bread with a teaspoon of butter on it. And there is one more point about fat I want to bring up. When you look at these ingredients, you will notice down here partially hydrogenated cottonseed oil. So it says it contains vegetable oil, soybean and or canola oil, and or palm and or partially hydrogenated cottonseed oil. So it might have partially hydrogenated oil in it, it might not. But when you go back to the food label, you'll see that trans fats are 0. Now, trans fats are on our food label because they discovered through research that trans fats will hurt our good cholesterol, or high density lipoproteins, and they will make that number go down, and they will cause our bad cholesterol levels, the LDLs, to go up. So you don't want to eat any product that contains trans fats on a daily basis. So do these contain trans fats or not? I am not sure, but I would say on all of your products, always look for the partially hydrogenated type of oil, because if there's partially hydrogenated in the food label and there's 0 up in the numbers, what that means is there is a little bit of trans fats in this product, and too much on a daily basis or weekly basis can impact your heart health. So you want to use the food labels to help you make an educated choice. And if you're choosing something that isn't the best, then limit it. Maybe you use it only a certain time of the year. But being knowledgeable is extremely helpful. I hope this has been helpful. I tried to keep it short and to the point. If you've liked this and you want to post a picture of another product, like a packaged food that you like to use in your holiday cooking, go ahead and post it to my Kim Lukart RD Facebook group and ask your question about it, and I would be happy to give you my feedback. Go make it a great day. Stay energized. Thanks so much for watching the SORT training, and have a wonderful day. This has been Kim Lukart, your peak performance dietitian. Bye-bye.